just go through that again. You should have on your screen now the agenda for today. The session is up for, we've got it in our diaries for 1 hour, and that's up to take us to 2 o'clock. Obviously, we won't be going past 2 o'clock, but we may finish earlier depending on the questions we may get at the end. Okay, so what we will be looking at these few items here, and as I mentioned, right at the end, we'll be looking at calculating ROI, because one of the things with gold is a great tool for you to actually calculate and record the return on investment. And this is something that all companies are looking at more and more every day, and it's becoming more important that companies can show the return they are getting on their training budgets. And this is also a great way for you to show how the goals that you're setting, the changes you're making from what you have learned on the program, is actually turning into what impact it's having. Is it monetary, or is it revenue savings? Is it actually generating more revenue? So this will be fantastic. Okay, what we will do, I will now go over straight to the goal software and log in as myself, and we'll start from there. So the first one we'll be looking at is setting goals and tasks. Okay, I'm sure you've all seen this screen before. Now this is the login screen. Obviously, just putting a username and password. You all should have those, but if you do have any difficulties, you can always contact Odyssey directly, and we can get those sent over to you. So I'm going to log in as myself because I have set myself up on here. And great, and there we go. We have the employee key main screen here, the user screen. As you can see, you've got the My To-Do list on the main area there. You've got your programs, you've got development plan, My Impact, and also a bit about your profile. What we're going to do today is really concentrate on the things that you need to do as part of the CMI program, and also what the tutors, the program tasks that have been set by the tutors, so you can make sure you complete them. As you can see on my to-do list, all the program tasks that have been set in questionnaires, some are red and some are blue. The red ones mean they are overdue. The blue ones mean that they're due within the next month, or the deadline is coming up close. What I would like to say is, I haven't done any of these because, as you know, I'm just going to be using this as a demo, but some of you may have done all these already. So the first thing you need to think about is how to set a goal. A task, and one of those things is completing a program task. There's two ways you can do this. Set a goal. Now, if your program task like this one here says set a goal aligned to one of the program objectives, it does also say ignore the non-specific drop-down option. What you need to do is go to the program task, click on this spyglass here, and this will open up the goal setting area. Now from here, you will pick one of the program objectives that you're going to align your goal to. So I will say profitability. I will give my goal a title. I'll say improve revenue. Say increase revenue into organization. From there, I will put an ROI value. So this is somewhere some people get stuck on. If you're not sure of the value, you do need to put something in this field. You need to put a number in this field. So you can put in 0. However, on this one here, the ROI impact, you've got to say the goal you're saying, what impact it will have. So you might want to put a few words in here. So my goal title is improve revenue. The impact it will have is it will bring in more funds to the organization and increase profits. So no matter what goal you set, you'll always think about the impact it will have. It's got to be some sort of impact. That's why you're setting the goal. Obviously, in the monetary value, if you're not sure, you can put in 0. However, you can come back and refill this if for later on you decide that actually I can put a monetary value to this. You can come back to the goal and edit it. Once you've done these few areas, you click on Add Goal. And this will take you to the My Goal section. As you can see here, your goal objective has been added successfully. You'll get a tick mark there, and your goal is all set here. Now, one thing you have to do when you set a goal, you have to add a task. And this is what appears in your to-do list. It helps you keep track of the goal that you're doing. And this, without a task, it won't appear properly in your reports either. So one of the key things you must remember is to add a task, at least one task, to help you reach your goal. So if your goal is to increase revenue like mine, you need to say, well, what sort of things will I need to do to increase that revenue? So to add a task, you click on Add Task, give the task a title. So I want to increase the revenue. That is my goal. So the first thing I need to do is increase customer meetings. So you can put in task details. It could be the same again. So say, I would like to increase customer meetings by 1 extra meeting a week. Now, this is one thing that you can do. You can say that I'm going to start the deadline. I need to increase this by whenever. So, for instance, I've looked at this today, and so by the end of the second week, by the 18th of March, I should be able to have an extra meeting per week in my diary moving forward from there on. This is where I would add a new goal task. Excellent. So now, as you can see, you've set your goal and you have your task just down here. And this is in the tasks outstanding area. Once you complete your task, it will move across there. So now that's been done, you can go back home. And as you can see, my goal task has appeared here because I have set it for within a month of today. So within a month of the deadline, it will appear in here. Now, as this was the program task I set here, I want this removed from my to-do list. Now, to do this, you click on the program task, and this will take you to the tasks outstanding area. Now, these are all the tasks that have been set, and these are all the program tasks, etc. And you can go through all these, and you can tick off whatever you need to. So here, if you look through this, here it was, set a goal aligned to one of the program objectives. That was the program task I've just completed. You come over to the green tick, and you click on that. Put in a note and just say completed on 09/03/2016. Complete task. Now, as you can see, it has been removed from the task outstanding section. Now, if you scroll down slightly, you will see it's now in the task completed section. So every time you set a program task, a goal through a program task, you will need to click on the program task in your My To Do area once you've done the goal, and come over to the tasks outstanding and click off the tasks you've done. So on these ones here, pre-work for workshop 3, workshop 4 handouts, once you download the presentations, come over to the program and click them off here, and they will be moved down here. So for instance, if I've already done the workshop 3, I'll click on here, say downloaded, just a little reminder, complete task, and now that moves down there as well. Now, if I go to the home page and see my view, you will notice those tasks have been removed. The program task that I had to download the workshop area has been removed, and the goal setting has been removed. Okay, I hope everyone's okay with that. Like I said, we will have a question and answer section at the end of this. So if you do have any questions, make a note of them, and then we can look at these at the end. Excellent. Okay, another way, one thing I want to talk about is setting goals. Some people wait for a program task to come aboard into their to-do list, and then they decide if it's set a goal, read a document, whichever way. You don't have to wait for a program task or a tutor to tell you to set a goal. You can set a goal directly yourself to show the impact that you're having. So to do this, you will need to enter into your development plan. So you come onto the home page, you click on Go to My Development Plan, and then you show here, that's the goals that I've already just set, as you just see me set now. You can click here and add a new goal. This is not related to any program task that has been set by your tutors. However, this is a task that you might want to set yourself, a goal that you want to set yourself, because you want to show more impact that you're doing. So, and you can have as many goals as you want, as long as you put tasks with them. So again, you go through here, you align it to the program objective, whichever one it aligns to, put in the details, and you follow the same thing. So I'll close that there. And once that's done, it will appear in here. So if I go there, always remember, ignore non-specific, goal title, improve client relationships. Put the same in again, just to take you through it. Relationships. Impact at the moment, I'm not sure of. So I'll put in 0. And then I'll say improve client service and improve customer retention, client retention. So you add the new goal, and that takes you back to the My Goal area. So as before, you can see your goal there. Now again, I need to add a task. So I click here. The task title is meet with new client, arrange appointment to see new client. You can put the client names and I'll put XXX. Give yourself a deadline. So I want to make sure I do that by the end of this month. So that's the 31st. Add new goal task. You scroll down and there again, you can see it in the tasks outstanding. Now, if you go home, this should now appear in your to-do area because this is a goal task that is due within 1 month of today's date. So you can set goals from 2 different directions and you can tick off goals. Now, one of the things that you might want to do is say, for instance, you have done this goal task. Again, to mark this off, you click here, and what you do, it takes you straight there, and then to mark off the task outstanding, you just click on the green arrow. You say completed, I'll say it was done today. So we could just put in there. So you click that off there. They say completed, and then complete task, and it's come over. So basically, now that I've completed all tasks associated with this goal, click OK to mark the goal as complete, or click cancel to add additional tasks. So this is a great way to say that, well, you've done all the tasks, so you must have completed the goal. However, you might say, well, actually, the goal's still not completed. I need to do some more tasks. So you can click and add more tasks. One thing I will say as well is, since, for instance, you could say that I've improved my meeting schedule by a lot more than I expected, and now the client relationships have gone up, I can come back in here and actually edit this goal. So what I'm going to say is that because the meeting to improve client relationships gone up, I now can put a value on it. So I could put in £15,000. I click on Save Changes. Now I know the impact of this in monetary value is £15,000, and that's been done. So if you go My Home, that's just the help menu there, you'll see it's all been removed from the My To-Do list. One of the things that you'll just notice that I have changed my goal to £15,000 impact, a return on investment, and I have finished that goal because I've done all the tasks. However, I did not tick the goal as completed, so it actually shows in this area. It shows that I've completed all the tasks, but because I have not ticked off the goal, it will still say the goal is not completed. So what I will do, go back into that goal there, and click on the goal has already been set as completed. Excellent. It's all been done. So I'll go back home. So what you can show now is, just to quickly, we will talk about ROI later. You will notice some things appear in your My Impact. This is your ROI section, which I'll talk about later. So I'm hoping that's quite straightforward there. The software is there, and one thing I will say, you do have a help menu on your right hand side with all videos on, so you can go through those as well. If, like I said, please write down any questions you may have, and we'll go through those at the end. Okay, another thing that we probably need to do as well is, as you can notice here, some questionnaire tasks. Now, these will be pretty straightforward, because as soon as the program task has been set up by a tutor and they ask you to complete a questionnaire, you click on the spyglass and the questionnaire automatically opens. So answer the questions I plan for each case. So I put in these, I'll answer all the questions just randomly. See here. Here. You click on quick questionnaire, and as you can see, please provide an answer because it's telling me I've missed one, which was here. So you have to answer all the questions, otherwise you cannot submit the completed questionnaire. So once you've answered all the questions, you can click on complete questionnaire, and it says your answers to question have been saved, and you can close the questionnaire. Now, as you can see, that task has also been removed from the questionnaire my to-do list area. So once that's done, that is automatically removed. So you do not need to do anything else once you've completed the questionnaire. Okay, now another thing that you might be asked to do, I think like on this one, the program task here, you'll please download the presentation and join instructions for workshop 4. These are in your documents folder. Please note the pre-work details in the join instructions. Now, when you click on an area where program task where it says download any information, if it's more than one document, it will take you to the program area. Now, what you need to do here is scroll down to the documents area, and the documents you want will be along here. So there you go, you got workshop 4 presentation, workshop 4 join instructions. Click on the blue arrow, and that will take you to files. You can save the file and open it. I'm not going to do that because that's pretty straightforward there. Cancel that, but that gives you an idea. So when it's a program task, so let's just go back home and I'll show you again. When it's a program task and it's asking you to download a presentation and join instructions, if it's more than one document and you click on the spyglass, it will take you to the program area where the documents are held. And they're all in here. You just find the documents you need and you download them. Let's go back home again. Okay, and another way, I'm just going to show you how to access all the documents associated with the program that you're actually assigned to. You can actually do a quick review of all the documents by clicking on the folder at the top here. As you can see, it says view and download documents. You click on that folder, and this is the central documents area, and every document that's assigned to that program is all here for you. Okay. One of the things you can do, this is slightly off the agenda here, is you can actually upload your own documents. Now, when some of the organizations have used this software before, have used Gold before to monitor their programs and their L&D activities, individuals who have been using this as part of their program task, for instance, they might be set a goal, and they've said set a goal and it's done some great work. They might have some evidence, some written testimonials that they want to put next to that goal. What you can do, you can actually upload the document here and have it in your own document storage. This is your own storage here. No one else will have access to this unless they come in as company admin. You are the only one that can see these documents if you add them yourself. And this is part of the beauty of this software, is that you can actually upload evidence to go with the impact you're making. Okay, so I'll just take you back home again. So I'm hoping everyone's okay with that, and it's actually flowing for you. Documents are all there for you, etc. Now, again, this one, I have done it, but it hasn't been removed from my to-do list. So I need to click on this spyglass, and there it is there. So what I need to do now is tick this off and just say, done, complete task. As you can see, it's been removed from tasks outstanding, and it's gone down into workshop 4 task completed. If I go back home, It's now been removed from my to-do list. Okay, I hope everyone's following that okay. We just downloaded some course materials there as well. Now, one of the things that you might want to do is download your personal impact report. Now, this is quite interesting because the impact report records everything that you're doing. It actually shows the goals that you've completed, the goals you haven't completed. Now, one of the things I will say, is the actual report is a great way of actually showing what you've done, but it really holds information that you put in. For instance, if you actually set a goal and click non-specific, it may not show up in your report because the report is actually based on the program that you're working with. So I'll download the report now and I'll take you through that so you have a better understanding. To download your personal impact report, you click on this PDF icon here where it says go to reports, download your personal impact report. Click on that and that will take you to a new web page. Now you need to select the program. In some organizations who use this software, and it might be yourselves as well, you might be on 3 or 4 programs at one time and you want to download a report for a particular program. So you choose a program, which is what we're doing here, click submit. Now, as you know, we did some questionnaires earlier. So one of them might still show up. So you pick the questionnaire that you have done. So I think it was the pre-coaching questionnaire. The post one hasn't been done yet, so but I'll click on it anyway. Click continue, and then you click here to download your report, and that opens up as a PDF. As you can see, here's my participant report, my name on the top, my organization. Obviously, I'm coming under you guys today. And what this table does, this is a summary for all programs, as it says here. So it tells you what programs I'm on. So you could be on 5 programs, you could be on 6. This is a summary for all, but the rest of the report will only show you details for this one program here. But this is a quick way for you to see what sort of things you've been doing overall. So you might have 10 goals set, you might have 10 in progress, 5 completed, but there might be over 5 programs. This table will show that. But this report is just for this one program up here. If you scroll down, as you can see, I did a questionnaire earlier. These are the questionnaire results. This is the table for the questionnaire results. I've only done the pre-coaching questionnaire, which I did earlier, as you saw me do. I quickly went through it. I have not completed the post-coaching questionnaire. Now, the reason this one hasn't been completed yet, because it's not open yet, and is not in my to-do area. So this will be set as a program task by your tutors. As it has not been set yet, or it's not been made live, as they would say, it does not appear on the to-do list, and so therefore you cannot do the post-coaching questionnaire just yet. But as you can see, I did the pre-coaching questionnaire, and the results have appeared in here. When I completed the post-coaching questionnaire as well, both sets will show. So where it says second score, it will show you my second score as well. So the graph's in there to see it showing the areas of improvement where you made a difference. Here you will have a list of all the questions and the scale that was used for the questionnaire. So you can just marry up to, actually, number 1, I got this, or it's gone down, etc. Now, this is the area where it talks about your goals, and this is an important area. These are the goals that I've set, and basically shows you everything. And what happens here is, to help you need to set a task, as I said before, and this helps the software calculate what you've been doing. So obviously my first goal was increase revenue to your organization. Our impact was 0 at the time, bringing friends, and there was my task. It's not been completed yet. That goal is not completed. This was the second one I did, and I remember, if you recall, I changed the ROI impact, the value, to £15,000 because I improved my meetings and improved the client relationships. And this one says completed the task. When you scroll down further, what it says here is the return on investment. So goals achieved, which was the £50,000 comes here, and the goals that I'm still in progress, not yet achieved, are under this section here. This section here is about competency-based goals. As we're not doing any of these at the moment, you do not need to worry about these areas here. And that is your report. But the good thing about your report is it shows here straight away that I've actually done something different, set a goal, which has generated £15,000 for the company. And this is your report to show. Okay, so this report can be downloaded at any time when you wish to. All your details in here, everything's here for you, and like I said, download it anytime you want to by clicking on the PDF. If we just go back to the home page here, by clicking on the PDF there. Okay, I'll just close this all down. Just bear with me. Okay, so everything's here for you. Just close all these. These are all the other ones that I did. Okay, so it's all done here for you. So I hope that helps you there to understand how this software can help you just do your impact reports, download reports, set goals and tasks, and it helps you track what you need to do. The biggest thing is that people ask about is calculating ROI, and that is one of the things. And as you noticed earlier, I wasn't sure myself, so I put in a 0. Now, one of the things I like to do, and this is something that will be uploaded onto the Gold software by your tutors to help you, is look at some guidance that we provide to help calculate ROI. So I'm just going to switch away from the software for a moment and go to my PowerPoint. And if you look across here, the first one is ROI Guidance. Now, this is sources of data. So basically, you need to find out where you're going to get the data from, how you're going to measure it, because as you set a goal, it's all sorts of things that need to be done. You get what sort of things can you measure to show ROI, and this information will be probably available within your organization. However, you will have to maybe go to human resources, maybe need to go to your finance department and speak to different people. But it does help you to start thinking about the monetary value of what you're doing and the impact it's having. So these sort of things are sources of data. You've got quality reports, productivity reports is great for a manufacturing company, some sales records, annual reports, all sorts of things here. So really, you need to start thinking about what sort of data you have got that you can actually start thinking about, well, what monetary value am I making, what impact am I making by doing these goals, setting these goals, doing this program. So start thinking about the sources of data. So what data does your organization have and who do you need to speak to? Another way of looking at this is to suggest it's high-level measures to inform ROI data collection. Now, high level, what we mean by high-level measures, these are going to be senior management, these are going to be HR departments again, or finance departments that will probably hold this information. So at an organizational level, they might have level of sales, the productivity, they might have results. At staff team levels, you can look at the absences that are happening, the overall turnover of staff, retention, and even customer surveys can help as well. And this is high level, which is most organizations hold. More than likely, HR will hold a lot of this. So you can always speak to them and say, well, do you have any customer satisfaction data at the moment? So you can use that to prepare a future evaluation that you do. So think about those sort of areas. And one of the key things that some organizations do, they do look at retention, and they look at turnover, and they look at even grievances as everything, and they look at different procedures that they've got, and have they made different. One of the key ones, example is one of the customers we worked with, was the complaints and the compliments procedure. One individual noticed that the complaints procedure that they had, the complaints that they had from customers was a bit high, and if they reduced these complaints, they could actually save probably about approximately £90 per complaint. They actually reduced it by 15% by putting in some goals, etc. And they used their customer satisfaction feedback to show that, or the level of complaints, they counted them up, and the data that they already had on record to show the difference and the impact. And they were actually able to put money on this with the help of the finance department, saying every complaint to process was costing £90 a time. So that just gives you a bit of an idea. Now, here's some examples of some hard data that you can probably get. You've got output, and these are the things: manufacturing, your units produced, your completion rates. There's all sorts of different areas you might be able to add to these lists, and these are just suggestions from the companies from myself, and this is from experience on what companies look at. And because we've been working with companies for a long time and using gold to help them track a return on investment and transfer learning, and these are some of the things that other companies have used. And And this might be something that you can use as well. You might go down this list and look at ways you can think, well, actually, we've got some of these, we can look at those. And it's all sorts of ideas. And I think for yourselves as a manufacturing company, it's what's being manufactured. What's the equipment downtime? Is there a problem if the track closes down? How much does that cost you? What's about processing time? Is there any meeting schedules? Do you have too many meetings? And that's another perfect example of a client of ours. Just to give you an idea, a client of ours went back after their training course. One of the managers realised he was having a meeting every Monday morning with 10 of his staff for 3 hours, and he actually worked from out. He said, "I don't need everyone, and I don't need everyone for 3 hours." So he reduced his people there from 10 to 5. And he actually reduced the meeting time from 3 to 1.5 hours, which actually, when he worked out an average of £20 per hour per person. He saved about £200 per week, which worked out close to nearly £12,000 for the year. So it just shows you can actually put some value in there. Obviously, he went to his finance department and said, well, what's the average hourly rate for these people to be tied up? So they worked out an average and they based it on that. So speak to your finance people, look at the guidance that we're showing you here, and then start thinking about what can you do differently? What can you show in monetary value? These are just some examples of soft data. And these are things that you'll probably see on a regular basis as a manager, supervisor. You might have access to on a daily basis. And these are just looking at work habits. For instance, are people having too many breaks? Is it communication breaks down, which is making things do? Employee loyalty, job satisfaction. I think one of the key ones, and the big one at the moment, is creativity and innovation. Are we bringing in new ideas? If you do something different, if he brings in new ideas, will it help generate more money? Will it help save time, which will help save money? Process improvements, etc. So you can start thinking about all sorts of areas. And another one is, I think, employee development and advancement. It's about taking your people forward. Can you actually improve their skills? Can you make them more productive? And you can think about these ways. Are you promoting internally? And it's all sorts of different areas you can see that you can think, well, actually, from this program or what I'm doing, I've actually learned this. These are going to be some of the goals I said. I actually can put some value to this. So how much does it cost to promote from within compared to actually recruiting from someone else from outside? And here's some other examples of soft data. Is customer service, and then obviously that's a big one that we mentioned before, the customer data, customer complaints, their satisfaction, the loyalty. Are you retaining your customers? So one of the goals I set was, I'm going to look at how to improve customer service to improve retention. And I had more meetings, I built the relationships better, and I actually start saying, well, actually, this person hasn't left us and it's given us extra income, and it's cost us less because we don't have to go out and find another customer straight away. So there's so many different ways of looking at this, and it is important that you give it a good thought and speak to your colleagues, speak to your peers. They might have some ideas. Speak to your finance directors, finance department. Speak to your HR department. See if there are any ideas and see what data they have that can support what you're trying to do. Okay, that is a bit on the ROI guidance. I'm just going to go back to the software and just show you something else about the ROI guidance, which will be important because it just follows on from the report. So just bear with me. Okay, I'm hoping you can see this screen. And one of the things we did earlier, we actually set some ROI guidance. When we did the ROI, we actually said that it had a £15,000 return on investment. That's one of my goals. Now, one way to have a quick look at the impact you are having is you can just go to this section here, which actually, if you hover over it, you can see this. Go to my ROI. And as you can see here, my ROI achieved says £15,000, improved client service, improved client retention, and ROI in progress. Click on show and bring in more funds to your organization, increase profits. At the moment, I have no monetary value to that, but like I said, I can always go back into my goals and reset that. Okay, excellent. So I'm hoping that's helped you out there, and there is quite a lot there, and I think we've covered the main areas that you need to think about. And I think what you need to do is concentrate on completing your program tasks, the questionnaire tasks, and all the tasks the tutor set you, like downloading documents, reading documents, and make sure you tick those off. And so we know they're complete. But also, when you're setting your goals and areas and your tasks, etc., make sure when you pick your goal, you align it to one of the program objectives. Do not choose non-specific, as this does not appear in your report, and it doesn't really show the impact you're having. And also, when you set your goal, make sure you set at least one task to go with it. Okay. Now, feel free to contact us directly. I'm sure we've got the details of jack@odyssey.co.uk, or you can give us a ring. I hope you enjoyed that seminar. What we will be doing is sending out this webinar, to all people on the course. It will be recorded, we will edit it, and we will send out this out to everyone, give everyone access to this over the next couple of days. And also, when I mentioned the ROI guidance, and I had those PowerPoint slides, we will be putting a Word document into the documents area, so you can download that and use that as some guidance for yourselves. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it answered your questions, because you see everyone seems to be happy with everything. And like I said, if you have any questions after this webinar, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.